Hey everyone, it's Ed with EAPQs here. I'm going to do another video. Earlier today I did one on threading. Now I'm doing one on coring. Kind of had this set up already, but I think you'll get the gist of everything. This is a piece of koa that I'm coring out currently. It's going to be cored out with this gun drill that's set up that I have. Let me see if I can back up. Gun drill. This is a 650 thousandths gun drill. That's what I use here. The other pieces I cored out earlier were cored out with something a little over 750. Gives me a little addition, plus gives me enough for my ring work to go over top of it. And these were the other pieces I cored out earlier. As you can see, there's the Coca-Cola for the handle. There's the other piece of koa for the butt sleeve. This is the piece of koa that's going on the forearm. Like I said, these are cored out larger, because it's the handle and the butt sleeve. I always step down my core for my forearm. I've done them both ways with something, 750 and above, and I just like being able to step them down. It gives me a little bit more meat when I'm going through the nose of the core. Again, my preference. I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you do it with, something larger. It's just my preference. It is a little bit more work because I either have to step my full length core or, I'm turning down a forearm core to a different size than what I am the handle and butt sleeve. So, but anyway, as you can see, I've got this set up. This actually works as my dust collection. My vacuum hose will hook to this here very shortly. It collects a very large portion. It doesn't collect everything, but at least I'm not breathing it all in. And I let the machine run. I let the machine do its work. So far, I've been successful. Some people say, hey, you shouldn't do that. It can catch, it can shatter the wood, whatever. Never know. It might happen someday, but so far I've been successful on I don't know how many pieces of wood I've cored over the years doing cues, but it works well. So I start with a pilot hole that I make when it's up here in the chuck. That's 650 thousandths. So that way when I bring my gun drill in, and that's one of the things I make sure of, my gun drill lines up really well. It doesn't move. It's not getting any deflection when it comes into it. As you can see, I'm about half inch, 3/4 of an inch deep, something like that. That gives me a good starting point for my gun drill. And then I hook my hose up to this, turn on my air pressure. I run a lot of air pressure, keep things cooled off as much as possible. I'll actually shove a little rag in here. You'll see it once the operation gets going. It'll be noisy, so I won't run it long. But it just allows me to keep as much dust being picked up as possible. All right, I'm going to pause, get the rest of it set up, and we'll go from there. All right, I got my vacuum hooked to it. As you can see, just simple, 45 degree. Took a piece of pipe that fits this 2-inch coupling, or 2-inch 45 rather, and then I machined out the inside of it to where it accepts my vacuum hose. Yes, this is just a rag. When I turn on the vacuum, it pulls it in. It kind of equalizes the pressure between being pushed out with the air pressure through the gun drill and the vacuum, and it stays in place well. And it does actually capture a lot of dirt that would be coming, or dust that would be coming through this V groove right here. They make bushings for these things too, if you want to have all the different size bushings, but this setup just works well for me. So if you have this type of a lathe, it gives you an idea of how you can set something up. Very, very inexpensive. 90-degree elbow here, reducer bushing here, just coming down to size, that's all. Trying to keep the hole as small as possible for vacuuming. Again, you can take it on and off. When I store it, I take most of this apart, and then I go from there. So I'm going to fire this up and let it run for just a second, and then I'm going to pause the video again. Vacuum is on. Air is now going. And it's heating. And it's noisy. so the noisy part's over with. That took me less than 5 minutes to core that out. Pretty much hands-free once it gets starting. Pull that out. The only pause in this portion of the video was just so I could turn off the air compressor. As you can see, I'm actually able to hold on to this bit. It's warm, but it's not hot, okay? And that's what, you know, the air allows this to keep cool, so it keeps the wood cool, because if you let that wood get hot without using that air, you're most likely going to crack it. There's some woods that are very susceptible to cracking when getting hot. Ebony is one of them. Ebony is one of my favorite woods, but it's also very susceptible to cracking when it gets hot. Snakewood is too. Not that I would ever use snakewood in something structural, but I have tried coring snakewood and I've never been successful, so that's a no to new builders. Don't use snakewood for a forearm or handle. Butt sleeve, maybe, but you run a risk of it cracking at any time. Using it in points is okay. Using it as inlay materials, nice. If you have some really premium snakewood, it's beautiful wood. So, not trying to get off subject, but just throwing that out there for you. There are some cues made with it, and they were successful. So I'm not knocking anybody that's done it, but you just run a much larger risk of it cracking at any time. It may not be today, it may be 2 years down the line, it just decides to crack. So, but anyway, all right, so again, that's kind of my operation on coring. You can see there is some dust still, but this does pick up a large volume of it so that I'm not breathing it and getting it all over the shop. It's pretty easy to work with. Open it up, pull that off, and I'm ready to pull this one on out of the chuck. And here we go. This one I did not core through all the way because it's longer than I need. By the time I cut it off to my, my length, the hole will be all the way through. So, all right, thanks for watching.